So I woke up with this message today and I'm going to share it with you all right here, right now. There's this book. I know a lot of people have talked about this book. I read it like 2 years ago, December of 2023. I read the book called The Psychology of Money. What I have to share with you has nothing to do about money today, but it's from what I learned in the book, okay? So in The Psychology of Money, can't remember the name of the author, but it's a short-ish book. The author had a chapter about how compounding interest works. I want to talk about that in relation to the gym, in relation to nutrition, in relation to your goals, in relation to parenting. I'm a mother. I've been a mother for 21 years. I've been a wellness professional for, I think this is my 7th year since 2018. This is February 17th, 2025. I think it's been like officially 2018 January I got certified in my first format that I started teaching. And so yeah, this 2025. Yeah, so is that 7 or 6? Around that many years, right? And before then, I was in my practice of exercise, movement, focusing on improving my overall health and well-being. So that's where I'm coming from when I talk to you about these things, as well as someone who, does invest as well. But this is not about investing, financial investing. It's about investing in all the other ways that will help you build wealth and lifestyle, quality of life through movement, through, compounding interest. Okay. So in the book talks about the way that the ice ages happened. And, you can read the book, The Psychology of Money, if you want, but I'm just go over this real fast. There was a part that talked about the way that ice ages happen. And he was just, explaining how ice ages did not come from layers and layers and layers of snow. It came from this much snow and ice, but then the summers not fully getting warm enough to melt all the ice, so it just piled on top of each other year after year, and you have an ice age. And there were this many ice ages in history. And so that was one example. And the other example I think that he gave was about Warren Buffett and somebody else. I'm gonna say Warren Buffett because everybody knows about Warren Buffett. And he talked about how Warren Buffett is successful because he invested for 3/4 of his life, right? And most people don't get into investing until they're like in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and up. Most people. I got into investing when I was in my 20s, by the way. So, he said that most people don't get into investing until they're older. And the reason why Warren Buffett wins is because he had, all those years that led up to that. And then in the book, they also talk about the difference, the way that people get around their financial goals or their finances in the market, where they're watching the trends, and then they think, oh, if I pull out now and then put back in when it's like this, then I'll be better. But really, you're better off if you stay, even in the downsides. Even when things don't look good, it's still better in the long run. In the long run, it's better if you still stay. Because you still build upon that interest. And I'm saying even if you still stay in a smart and strategic way, okay? So that's what I want to talk about. So maybe I didn't have to tell you about Warren Buffett and the Ice Age. Maybe I did, but it was in the book. So, and those things have stuck with me. Okay. So I don't know. I'm telling you about it. Take it or not. But, the part that stuck with me the deepest, that regardless of how much sense it makes to you, was when it said you still win bigger if you even still have something invested in the market, even when things ain't looking good, if you're still investing. If you don't pull out, because if you pull out, put back in, pull out, put back in, pull out, put back in on the same particular stock over time, it'll look like, oh yeah, this person is winning, but the one who won the most is the one who stayed the longest. You don't have to know anything about investing or stocks to catch this message. All right. Compounding interest is simply a message about playing the long game and about having long-term vision and showing up even when things ain't looking good, even when you're going through things. Okay. And so it's about showing up even in those times, and about even when it seems like you're not getting the results, to still keep on working at it. Okay. Even when it seems like you're not getting the results, still working at it. All right. I see so many times, I'm an entrepreneur, and I see a lot of like, I don't have the same entrepreneurial experience other people have. And I don't, it's not necessarily none of my business why it's a different experience for me, but I have ideas about why. I've not ever been the person who imagine, I would never encourage somebody to take a break from their business to go and get a job to help them to sustain their business. I'm not that kind of person. I'm going to say, nah, if you got time to spare, put that time into your business. Put that time into building your business, okay? Yesterday, when I was in the gym, I was lifting weights, I was doing deadlifts, and I was telling my friends this. When I was doing deadlifts, over and over in my head, all right, over and over in my head, I'm doing the deadlifts, and I'm pushing that bar into my thighs, and I'm like, keep your form, Kina, keep your form. Don't sacrifice your form for the sake of getting through the reps. Do not sacrifice your form just to get through the reps. Keep your form, Kina. If you have to go down, but don't sacrifice on your form, right? While I'm pushing into this. Keep your form. Don't sacrifice your form to get through the reps. Go down if you need to, but keep your form, because then you're not building bad behaviors. You're not building unsustainable behaviors, okay? Now, the way that I liken compromising your form just to get through the reps, the way that I liken that is like taking a shortcut. And so as I was saying that was the other thing that was coming in my head when I was doing those deadlifts was shortcuts don't work. Ain't no shortcuts. It's going to be hard today, but it'll be easy maybe next week. It'll be easier next week. And I see that every time when I go to the gym, something that I barely could get through 1 week, in just a week's time, it's more bearable, more doable. Sometimes just locking in, finding that one thing to lock in on, whether it's your breath, whether it's your gaze, whether it's what you're saying to yourself in your mind, can help you to get through those things that you probably thought you couldn't get through. Okay? So no shortcuts. Take the path. Even if you have to go a little bit lighter just to get to the finish line, you can go lighter for right now, and then you can build it back up. Okay, so that was one thought that I had, and these all thoughts come together. This is the message I woke up with. So that was yesterday. Then last night I was in the shower, and I was thinking about, it came to me, it said, Kina, you still are so stubborn. You're such a grudge holder. Thank God for that. I'm stubborn and I hold grudges, but not like it wasn't like against people, because I don't hold grudges against people. But I am still stubborn. I am still a grudge holder in the sense of, let me my mind is going a little bit fast. Let me slow down. In the sense of, when I think about everything about who an earlier version of me was, the things that maybe I wasn't proud of, the things that I might have been ashamed of, the things that I felt like I wanted to work on and get better at, or the things that I felt like might have been setbacks or shortcomings for me, those qualities and characteristics of me, they did not necessarily disappear. They were repurposed, okay, into something for my benefit. All right. I tell people all the time how I used to fight when I was younger. I still fight, but I just don't use my hands anymore. And the way that I fight looks different, but I still fight. Okay. I'm just not, punching people down and stomping them out. I'm not doing that anymore. All right. I don't engage in violence against me or towards other people. I don't do those things anymore. I used to be a very angry child. I grew up in violence. All right. But once I started to try to figure out how to work with the anger versus working against it, then the anger started to work for me on my behalf. Okay. So then you take into account like the stubbornness. So many people think of stubbornness, and something that I tell to people all the time, parents, is to nurture those qualities about your little people, those things that sometimes make you be like, did I know what I was signing up for becoming a parent? Those are the things that right now in your sweet children, those are things that might challenge your patience, but those are your challenges, okay? But in your children, those are gifts that needs to be nurtured, because right now, while it might test your patience and stretch you to your limits, these are things that are going to be gifts when they become older. These are going to be their strengths when they become older. So I am so stubborn. Okay? I'm stubborn. And I don't let up on things. I will not let up. Okay, so that's when I say grudge holding, I ain't gonna let up. I don't let up. I don't let up. And I don't forget. Okay? It comes back around. Instead of those qualities being the enemies of me, those qualities, since I worked on, compassion and patience, kindness, curiosity, and care towards myself, I see how those qualities have come back to show me that I'm just somebody who's going to keep on trying every time. I'm not going to let a bad day be the end of the road for me. I'm going to keep trying. I'm up for the challenge. I'm not going to forget what my goals were, even if it takes me a long time to complete them. I'm not going so because of that, right? Stubbornness and grudge holding are good qualities of somebody who has stamina and endurance to go the long way. That's somebody who, one way or another, they're going to figure out they're going to get it. Okay? Like, don't count them out. And so, why am I talking about stubbornness and grudge? Because guess what? Like, in order to experience compounding interest, capitalizing interest, then you got to be okay with playing the long game. You got to be okay with your goals sometimes taking a long time for you to see them, for you to be able to see the results. But just because you're not seeing the results, and just because maybe you're having a bad day, just because things might not seem like it's going in your favor, as long as you stay in the game, like even just a little bit, you're gonna end up seeing the gains later. All right. When people talk to me about, I want to work out, but this, I want to work out, but that, I'm not judging anybody when they say that. What I am doing is just wishing that you could see what I see. All right. So this is me right now. Like, I'm right here, like begging you, like trying to tell you what I see in my head, what I know to be true based upon experience, application, practice. This is not a shortcut. This is not something, going to the gym, tuning into your nutrition, focusing on improving your quality of health, your mental health, and your stress. This is not a get rich quick scheme. All right. This is not a lottery ticket. It's not an overnight success. It's not a cash out today. All right. It's none of those things. And if you're approaching it from that perspective, then you're going to get the same results that somebody gets who puts their money in and takes it out, puts it in and takes it out, puts it in and takes it out. All right. So you got to be committed to the long-term vision. You got to be committed. You have to just be okay with knowing that this is not something that you are going to reap the results on. Treat this like you would treat your 401k. All right. Because at the end of the day, honestly, just like you get to enjoy, like when you're doing your 401k and your Social Security, you're investing in your working years so that you can enjoy them during your aging, during your years of retirement. I think I am of the firmest, most passionate, stubbornness, belief, persistence, not letting up belief that everybody who gets the chance to make it to old age should be able to enjoy it when they make it there. I think that if you did whatever you had to do to make it to be old in age, I think that you should be rewarded rather than punished by a body that's falling apart and failing you. All right? So if you go to the gym today, or if you made just one different decision in the kitchen today, maybe if you just made one sauce, or, tried making one meal from scratch where you know what the ingredients are in it, or just one little thing at a time, that's how compounding interest works. All right? Capitalizing on your gains works, okay? As long as you can be okay with not seeing the results today, but trusting that they are building, if you can be okay with that, then you'll be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. All right? If you can decide, like today, I'm going to focus because I matter. I'm going to focus. I'm going to respect the small changes. I'm going to respect small, just like in business. So I'm vacillating between gym, small business, entrepreneurship, and parenting. Okay? So I'm like, in all three places, you can put it in whichever category you want. All right. But if you can, because remember, like I said, when I was pushing them deadlifts, it was like, don't sacrifice your form, Kina. And if you need to go down, go down. But go as hard, go as much as you can. All right. If it means that I have to scale back a little bit so that I can get all the way to the end of the 40-yard line, if it means I got to go a little bit lighter in what I'm carrying, but if that means that I can make it all the way there time after time after time, I'll take that. I'll take that. And I respect it. All right? Within myself. I can't look in the mirror. I would never be able to look in the mirror and say, Kina, how could you go down on your weight? Kina, how could you only invest a little bit? Because investing a little bit is going to get me to the finish line. Going down on the weight, but keeping my form. And why do I keep saying keep your form? Because if you get in the habit of keeping your form proper, then you know that the strength that you're building is honest. Okay? You know you're building honest strength. You're not cheating to get it. All right? So like all these things that you're doing in the gym, it pours back to your values and character of who you are in life. And, something that Dr. Alex G said to me about my talents and my gifts, he said, at a point, your character will have to lead you further. Okay? Your character is going to have to kick in. So keep your character true right now so that once, your talents and gifts get you here, then the character will get you there. I know that I'm not saying it as good as how Dr. Alex G is going to say it to you or how he says it to y'all, but it made sense to me. Okay? You gotta keep your character on point, because that's the same thing as your form. Now, if you can fake the funk, fake it, but faking it is not sustainable. Okay? So I respect scaling back. I respect small more than I respect faking it. Okay? Doing the fake just to get there. No, don't do that. Okay? Because people who goes small in order to go the distance, people who go small in order to sustain, those people who got long-term vision. Those people who says, you know what, I might not get there tomorrow or in 3-6 weeks. This is like people who like faking the funk, to me, diet culture. People who going on diets and fasts and cleanses and all of that, to me, that's fake. If you're doing it because you're like, I need to fit into this outfit by this day, or I need to drop this weight before my workout, it's fake. All right? Because dieting is unsustainable. I am anti-diet. I'm anti-diet. It's not sustainable. And in the long run, when you diet, you lose overall. And we can fight about that if you want. We can fight. All right? We can fight about it. Because I don't fight about things that I don't know what I'm talking about, and I don't gamble. All right? I don't gamble. But what I do is make very good, educated, informed decisions. Mm-hmm. 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 And I back it up. I talk like this because I can back it up. Okay? If I know what I'm talking about, we can... What's up? So, no, I know that I'm in the wellness industry. I know lots and lots and lots of people who do diets. And a lot of times I mind my business and keep my mouth shut because then nobody asks me for my input. But if somebody asks me for my input, I'm going to let you know. Okay? You're going to wreck your metabolism. You're going to gain back everything that you lost in that short-term unsustainable diet or cleanse or fast, whatever you're doing, especially if you're a woman. And it makes me sad because you're putting yourself into cycles of suffering that's preventable and avoidable. It's not good for you. There are other ways to accomplish your goals if you're okay with going the long term, playing the long game. And life is the long game, all right? So you do those little short-term cheats, you lose. And that's evident in every area of life. This is no different, okay? So I respect the small, I respect the scale back, I respect little changes over time because those are sustainable. Those become significant. Those will get you all the way to the 40-yard line and you'll be like, how did I get here? If you had to walk to get there, then walk. And I respect it. It's consistent. If you got to walk in order to be consistent rather than run, then walk. Then walk. If you can stay consistent with walking, then walk. If meal prep isn't your thing, but trying one thing, I don't know, once a month is your thing, one swap out, then do that. All right? Do something. But bumping gums that's not doing anything. Okay? But in order to make those changes, you got to tap into your stubborn side. You got to dig into your your stubborn inner child. The one who was not like, nah, you said we was going to have popcorn. I want the popcorn. You got to tap into that. You got to tap into the, mommy, don't you remember when you said when we get home, you need to tap into that energy. All right. Because one thing about kids, they don't let up, right? Can you be like that? Can you be like that? Because kids don't let up and they don't forget. And that's the energy that you need in order to get to the things that you're trying to get to, whatever it is. All right? So that's what I woke up with. That's what I went to sleep with and woke up with. Don't take no shortcuts. Now, here's the other part. That's what I told my friend earlier. Shortcuts and easy are two different things, okay? Because one thing, shortcuts, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. All right. Now there are some times where you might be so locked into your talents, your purpose, and your gifts, and you might be really walking the path that you're supposed to be walking. You might be like, oh my God, seems too easy. Now, to me, that's an indicator that you're absolutely where you're supposed to be, doing what you're supposed to do. And don't you let yourself get in the way or start blocking your blessings because now you're starting to doubt yourself. Because to me, if you ask me, okay, please don't judge me because my child is he's an athlete who's won awards, but I can't remember the word. So don't judge me. Don't judge me. Are you judging me? Okay. Okay, don't judge me. For the life of me, I cannot think of the name of the football players who, when the person has the ball, everybody's clearing the path so that this player can get to the 40-yard line. Okay? What's that position called? Okay, yeah, that. So when that person, you got the ball. Think about it as when you are aligned, when you are walking in your gifts that God had set you up for, everything along the way, boom, 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 bow, setting you up to be moving in your gifts and your purpose. And then when you finally step into that, when you finally stop doubting yourself, when you finally stop making excuses, when you finally stop making things complicated, I'm guilty, okay? When you finally stop doing those things and you get locked in and you're walking your path, you're the person with the football. And this right here is your gifts. You ushering them through, baby. those people that's clearing the way, that's how God be working, right? When you locked in. So yeah, the doors might open and the obstacles might be clear because that's God is doing God's work. Okay? So don't take God clearing the way for you as this is too easy. I need to go and complicate some stuff. Let me run into the crowd. No, don't run into the crowd of the people that's trying to get to you. Run to the 50-yard line. Is that the 50-yard? The touchdown. Run to the touchdown, okay? How many yards is a football field? Oh my God, do not judge me. Because you know what I'm talking about, even though I'm not saying it right. You still know what I'm talking about. All right, now listen, let me tell y'all something. I gotta go. I gotta get to physical therapy. I injured my ankle on my birthday in November. And it's been healing, but it ain't all the way healed. So I'm going to physical therapy to get this healing done. And then I'm going to teach my dance class tonight. If you want to sign up for my dance classes, there is still opening virtually only in the dance class. So you can join virtually if you want to sign up for my work dance fitness class. Couple quick announcements while we here. Koga Yoga is on the first Friday in March. I think that's March the 7th. Koga Yoga, Kids and Caregivers Yoga. Progress Yoga is this coming Saturday. This is at 1:00 p.m. at Dragonfly Fitchburg. Also, this Saturday is my Saturday to teach at the Princeton Club. So pull up on me. Come to my dance class. We're going to be in the studio twerking. It's Melissa's birthday. So we're going to be playing some of her favorite songs as well for the birthday playlist. Tap into your stubborn, grudge-holding inner child so that you can lock in and be focused on your long-term goals the same way that you focus like with your 401k, your Roth IRA, your retirement, your Social Security, so that you can enjoy your quality of life. That's the reason why you're doing this, so that you can have good mental health. You can prevent preventable illnesses and disease and diagnoses, and so that you can, and yeah, if I didn't already say this, you can be rewarded when you get to the end of life. You can be rewarded with a life worth living and enjoying at the end. All right, so that that's a reward. All right, I wrote a whole poem about it called "Celebration of Life." If you want to hear that poem, let me know. Let me know. I think it's a great poem. That's why I wrote the poem. I wrote it because I was thinking about these type of things. I wrote it like 2 years ago though. But I think it's a great poem if you want to hear it. And I think that's it. I hope you got the point. Did you get it? If you got it, then type "got it" in the comments wherever I post this at. I'm gonna post it on Facebook, probably, maybe YouTube. If I had time, I would have set up my microphone for the podcast situation, but I might still upload it on Spotify as a podcast situation. And if so, podcast, the things that I mentioned coming up this weekend only applies to February, the weekend of February 20th, 22nd, 24th. If it's past that of 2025, those things don't apply. Okay? But my dance class still probably has openings because it's online virtually, and, you know, that's it.